till this day. I still find, I think there should be a cool update to Knife Fights. There should be a cool update to Knife Fights.
So you can throw them.
I mean, you can also try to shoot. I don't know. It's a good question. What would be...
Or you can use flashes in the knife round.
I don't know, so many options. Probably people in this world have better ideas than we do. But let's see if the ideas of Besiktas are going to get them that victory on a 2-0 fashion just right here, or if Giants are going to bounce back. That fully international lineup versus that fully international lineup, as Giuliano and co are right now up with one game. The second one could belong to them as well. As they're right now pushing out, Petra is going to get the first frag, a few more to find. Zaz is just chiming in when needed. She's under a bit of pressure and overall falls, but she bought a good bit of time. Two players already arrived over on CT. AD, Kati, and Leia should be in a bit of a problematic scenario, as things are not easing up anytime soon. There is the shot you need in long-range P2000, and that's the accuracy we're looking for, both back on triple box, and so that should not even go in their way overall. One after another falls down, and 80 without a chance. Besiktas on the first, Kit is there, make it easy, make it fast, and nothing looking so wrong.
Yeah, super fast, super good start for Besiktas, and it wasn't really super fast in the way they wanted to kill Zaz. She was somehow staying alive for so long.
She's playing with her... What? She's playing with the arrow key. No, that's blasphemy.
Right,
She's playing with the arrow keys.
Damn.
I've seen it, I think Jax from G2 does that as well. Maybe it's an only French thing, I don't know.
Well, that's interesting for sure.
I remember a Reddit post where somebody could tell me why QWERTY is better than WEASD. A second later, he realized and replied, "I'm dumb." So it was a very, very unique Reddit post. You realized a little late, didn't you? It's taking a bit of time. But maybe it's Giants with them taking their time, making those AKs work. That directly goes in the face of Giuliano. And suddenly only 4 of those counter-terrorists are alive.
Good start from them, but especially looking at the positioning, how passive they play yet again on this T side, I'm not sure if they really can convert this to a round win. Right now, one player checking ramp, not really spotting out anything, and Besiktas on their side yet again playing it similarly to how they ended Inferno. Just staying on side, not really doing anything too big, and waiting for Vodafone Giants to make their move. They're not really scared about the player advantage. And there's one player lurking around B. She could maybe deal some more damage later on into this round as it unfolds.
Oh, and Zaz somehow actually ran supreme against the first. Second one found as well. The third not granted for her, but she can buy time for the rotation to come in. Knopka now needs to be expected by Petra, but this is pressure now put onto her. She needs to react in the right time. She doesn't come around, and she's going to be eliminated overall. The CT seem to somewhat collapse, as both are now coming over CT themselves. Celia eliminated with that one shot in the head. And Vodafone Giants bounce back in even one round. The AKs were worth the buy. The AKs that made the change.
Really can convert this early frag and the lurker into something, and I think that's also where you get a bit of an easy way to set up a lurker on Mirage than, for example, on Inferno. It's a bit harder to make a lurk work where you already, like, you really need to fully wait for the rotation to come in. While Mirage, you can just go through underground. You won't expect anyone to come from middle. You still can see them going from B towards A through the CT spawn. There's a bigger difference between Inferno and Mirage, and they could really use this. And if they can use it more often, Besiktas is going to run into a problem with it. That could be the key for Vodafone Giants to pick up some more rounds on the T side.
I mean, overall, right, you don't know what's about to happen next. They're taking the aggressive route. He's only running out of bullets, but thankfully for her, there's a bit of support coming in. But they all just line up. And Leia gets 2 frags. for the price of one, basically. Sounds like Billy Mays is selling it the best he can. But overall, Vodafone Giants should not lose any further rivals. Petra might just show us that she's Dutch Juan Dijk, but I got my doubts that this is going to work for her. Surely she has the quality of a star player. Surely she has the quality of a clutch Meisterin, but it is a stars won't align. In no universe the stars should align for her. She's still slowly trying and trying. There should be a rifle in top mid in case they have not thrown it away. And there she realized, I mean, what am I doing here? I got full armor, right? Why would I go for it? But then her second thought is like, whatever, screw it. I'm going in here. Short is going to be the point of aggression. And she's like really hesitant. Do I do it? Don't I do it? Am I interested? Is it a good idea? But she realized Mac 10 leaving in a gangster style. Back in top mid, letting the bomb explode. And Petra, I mean, the full armor is, I think, the key factor for me why she really does it. And
yeah.
Is she even going to survive is the next question.
She's hunting her down, but I don't think they're going to get into a position to actually kill her. Able to survive here, and of course it's important you have Kevlar, now you have a Mac 10 and a Deagle, so you can drop one of those as well, and that gives some more playroom to Besiktas, even though they're going to go for an eco to do something out of this round, to deal some damage, to set themselves up to get back into the lead.
It's very funny, Petra is, like in newspapers or so, she's always called Petra Stroker, because I think everybody messed it up. I think the newspapers messed it up, tournament organizers have messed it up. She's actually called Stoker, as far as I know. I even could say it wrong as well. It's for me the running gag. Like, if there's a meme probably going on, and if anyone is going to watch her live chat, or her stream, sorry, once in a while, I hope they all spam just her name written horribly wrong in it. A great person, no doubt. A great person. But sorry, Petra, it had to be done.
Well, you found your way to somehow.
Yeah, that's the crisp clean lock.
Oh,
boys.
yeah. That's
on the gear, definitely on the gear here. I don't remember his name anymore. The guy who was the crisp clean lock guy.
Yeah.
Dan M. It was Dan M.
Dan M.
Yeah, definitely on the gear, boys. Look at her. That's the face of somebody who just aim locked through a wall.
Oh, you can see it
Looking
in the
innocent.
reflection of her eyes.
Oh,
you can see.
I see her ESP.
Yeah,
obviously. She looks innocent, but you saw that was the aim lock, boys. That was. Dan M, where are you when I need you?
That's gonna.
Is he actually still something? I don't know.
I have no clue.
Well, anyway, I mean, he also said that Frozen is cheating, for example. Who's now playing in Mouseboard, so he must be right, of course. Overall, Besiktas, with only one round here on Mirage, somewhat surprising. Vodafone Giants start off quite fairly good here, Josh, but not quite sure if they can do this any longer.
Can they maintain it? Can they establish a bigger lead? That's the question we're asking ourselves, because after Inferno we are on this shore, and ooh, look at this. They're getting some really great kills for themselves, just shutting them down completely, and then just wondering what's going on there. It's just looking way too easy. It's not even looking like, I mean, Besiktas, of course, they're playing aggressive here, they're not scared of them, and that also shows, and they're hitting their shots, but that just seemed way too easy how Vodafone Giants is not really fighting back when Besiktas is trying to kill them off.
Maybe Singularity-esque, dear Josh. Maybe it could be that, but it's a little early to judge at that point in time. Funny why, so Vodafone Giants is the last round where they can properly buy into it. This is where we see the maximum being brought to 80. She's sticking to $1,500, whilst the rest of the team is a bit of a problematic situation, I would say. As Knopka retreats herself, decision has to be made. Not yet. They are in a very chill state. They're in a very relaxed state. Nothing to really worry about.
Low slowly, making her way up middle. And so far, this is looking like well, it's looking like 2 players of Vodafone Giants are dying. What I actually wanted to say is that this is gonna be an A hit, that the player towards B side is just gonna throw in some nades and then pick up the bomb, which is still in spawn as well. But those 2 kills, yet again, just come in so easily without Vodafone Giants really taking a fight. It's gonna tell us the story of Besiktas equalizing the score. Bomb moving its way towards B. Still 1 player lurking around mid. Will surely make a move soon as well, and they need to really just get all those kills on the B side to make this work.
I mean, matter of fact that they're waiting for the 30-second mark is right now where you could already pull out and say, okay guys, we rather save those 3 rifles. The majority of the players should have anything in their hands. But Knopka is coming down, jumped already, does the Felix Baumgartner, but a little problematic. She ends up. Petra is going to find that frag, but Katie puts the bomb down, which is fairly decent if you think about it in an economic point of view. But 80 should not have a chance, but she most likely is going to fall. Petra finds her, and Besiktas tie it up. Bomb that's going to be defused.
And yeah, as you said, this bomb plan is really important for their economy to still get this one out of the round, considering how 2 of their players have fallen this early into the round. But yet again, we see the 2 rounds in a row where it just didn't really feel like Vodafone Giants was fighting back, where it just felt like they didn't really have an idea about what they want to do or get out of this round, and then just ran into Besiktas crosshairs.
It seems like a train is still going to arrive very soon over there on the B side. It goes full speed. The TGV back to the B side is arriving. And Nissa is like, oh wait, hold on. There's something poking me from behind. She didn't expect that. Players are coming out of the window already. And this Stiegel from Laia is making it very uncomfortable for the Besiktas side. Juliana needs to push through. She has the AWP on her back, but she realized I can't do too much with it. Tries to upgrade herself, but she's on her own. Needs to clutch it out at the moment. It's 2 more to find. Realizes behind the smoke. Laia comes around, but she sees her silhouette before she can even react to it. Giants dropping out. Missa maybe with a bit of a misplay there, as she just not expect anyone to come out of window that early. And suddenly, there's the pause coming in.
Yeah, what a huge round by the Spanish powerhouse right now. I mean, she's really the one who's just not scared at all, and that's really surprising, because if you consider her being in this team, I would say, I mean, just looking at the previous experience, she's the least experienced in this player, but in this team. But you can see how hungry she is and how she just doesn't care. She wants to show how good she is, and in this round, she was showing it yet again, that she can be the difference maker for them. Vodafone Giants winning this round out of an eco, where they just go for the simple rush B play, want to get the bomb down, and they make it work. And now you look at Besiktas, and you look at their buy. Missa doesn't even have a gun. Petra only has an MP9. This is looking like Vodafone Giants can get a bit more T rounds right now, and from there on, how far can they take this one?
I like this setup a lot, though. From the beginning on getting the top mid smoke, denying Giants any sort of control in that direction. And in the meantime, that's the AWP dropped. Leia already waiting at the grave. Means 1 weapon less on the Giants' side. As Besiktas are looking to finish this off 2-0, I think they need to upshift anytime soon. They're fairly slow. They're fairly sloppy to some degree by now. I'm not so aware if Knopka actually heard that. Should see the shoulder patch. Not so certain what Petra is thinking, but this is a brilliant approach. Aggressive is only working with the MP9. You can take long-range tools. She's smashing her head, and suddenly Vodafone Giants legitimately running out of options.
Yeah.
They're legitimately running out of any opportunity right here, as though 80 still has the bomb and is en route to the A site. Katie and Co. I got my doubts, Josh. I really got my doubts that one is going to work out, because the time is ticking so low that they'll end up in a pressure situation. Katie might be pushing through. CT seems fairly open, but Besiktas is sending major reinforcements over to the side of A. And as the bomb, though, drops, as the bomb goes down, every single angle belongs to Besiktas. Every single dog tag of the opponents belongs to Besiktas. The 4th one is there. Overall, I'm still not happy about the performance of the counter-terrorists at the moment. Not as much as we have seen it from Inferno.
Yeah, for sure not, but I also think Vodafone Giants is showing a bit more, even though there are some really, really weird rounds where it just feels like they're not fighting. They're also putting up more of a fight compared to Inferno right now. This round, though, was them just getting the bomb down, but you want to get more out of this. This was really their chance to take over this game completely, and they lost it. And against a team like Besiktas, this is going to be really, really crucial for them, because now it's 4-4. It could have been 5-3 with Besiktas being on an eco, and that makes a major difference in how this map is going to go and how comfortable and confident Besiktas will feel. You can see their confidence is high. Look at Zaz's position and all the players
with ease,
Besiktas there making it look so easy because they feel like it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? Will Besiktas actually gain enough momentum in the long run to make that one work? The Vodafone Giants economy would allow them a buy again. Somewhat sloppy, not 100% there in a utility sort of way. KT actually considering what she's about to do. And this is pretty much the invitation for somewhat of a more classic execute when you only have like one smoke and one flashbang pretty much on each.
Vodafone Giants with a bit of more of a faster approach, and also
it's ridiculous.
Working together here with more also placing low.
Just how are they so fast? And how did they pass so fast? This reminds me so much of this B-side play where they jumped out a window and nobody was like, hold on, how did they actually get so fast? It seems to be a weakness of Besiktas.
Yeah, I think though they do it on purpose right now because they feel like it works for them.
Right.
They have no problem doing this. And maybe Vodafone Giants also realized, and now they try to punish this. And I think as soon as Besiktas realize they're punishing it, they're going to show another game and going to play more aggressive. So right now, let's see how Vodafone Giants is going to use the skill advantage they've got and the control they have. They have one player in connector, 3 players should stack up ramp, and the bomb should come down from Palace. Petra out in the open. If they could catch her off guard, this would be another free kill for Vodafone Giants, but she positions herself smartly.
I mean, she still has 2 flashbangs to maybe hold this up a little longer and ask for the right sort of support. And as we see, though, trades are being done. Petra being eliminated, then back in CT. They're falling on the wrong fronts, and 80 is getting closer and closer. Flashbang after flashbang is flying in. No frag, though, found overall. She stands a good chance to find 1 or 2 or maybe even the third. Swings wide, interested in the shot against Giuliano, and with ease, she's picking up nothing else than the double. Well done from her. And there he talked about the fast pace now. Besiktas, they really need to adapt anytime soon.
Let's see if they're going to adapt, because right now Vodafone Giants really abused that Besiktas didn't want to take this much control around middle and then place their players in the right position, get some information, take down Zaz, who was pushing in from Palace as well. And I don't want to see a play like they did with Zaz, but really a lot more fast aggression. Will we see it or not? That's the question right now, but it seems like they are still falling back to their style they've shown in the previous rounds. No real aggression from those players. They have one in upper wood, I think, and then one towards stairs, and then they have one around windows. It's not like it's something you expect.
Right.
It's not anything super special. But Vodafone Giants also slowing it down a bit more. They're expecting what I said, that the Besiktas is gonna play a faster pace, but they don't. And maybe this could also help to run down the time, but nevertheless, Vodafone Giants, they also won't really feel that much pressure unless they take too long to get onto the side.
Which is a very legit point you're touching on. I think, for example, something like a jungle push, or a palace push would be somewhat of an idea maybe. Petra with her big dick in her hands is going to look if she's going to find anyone anytime soon. As she looks through connector, first victim could be 80, done with ease, running into the crosshair of this very specially named AWP. And that's right now one duo that needs to hold him up any longer. Cresselia in combination with Missa. They have unfortunately failed from time to time, not at the moment. The Russian is ripping off the first head, looks for more, and clean position. That brings it only down to Leia. And at that point, good night. See you next round.
I just feel like this was way too easy for Cresselia to take down those two players, and in general, it didn't really seem like Vodafone Giants is working together on this take. Of course, they were all pushing in, but they weren't having each other's back. One player was falling, and no one really was attempting to get the refrag there. And then Cresselia could reposition herself, peek in again, get another kill. It's just way too easy. They couldn't even get the plant in a position where they just should actually run them over and maybe trade some kills, but get the plant out of this. Yes, you might lose the round anyways, but then you at least have more money. But yeah, I think that's really where they're also showing a weakness, a big weakness, that they have those rounds where they work well together as a team, but often it's also some individual player showing up here. But most of the time, you really see Vodafone Giants just giving up kills one by one.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the true story here you're telling, but I like the switch of style of Vodafone Giants from time to time, because I think you don't need to study Counter-Strike to realize. I mean, you don't need to be Albert Einstein of CS to realize that a fast-paced style was working obviously a good bit better. Something I personally enjoy a lot to see from time to time. And as Mirage is our map, right? First of all, you have to ask yourself, where is SAS, where's Cresselia? From an ADR point of view, they're not performing as much as we previously seen on Inferno. Unfortunate, you could say. This is not speaking for consistency, but let that one slide, right? At the moment, it's about an entire team effort. And if Besiktas is getting 10 rounds at the moment on Mirage, I think you can be happy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And right now, it's looking like this is going all their way in this first half. Vodafone Giants surely not gonna take the round or even a plant out of this one. Now, yeah, someone making a way towards the B side, picking up the M4. Someone's not gonna die either. And there's Knopka. Won't hit the shot.
Yeah.
And Cresselia is still spraying down Lai as well. So
would have been too
there was a bit of a chance to take it on, and she was isolated. But Cresselia is handling the situation with well, ease. So there we go.
There we go.
7-5. And this is looking like we're going to just see a 10-5 from here on.
It could be very possible, especially when we're right now take a closer look at the economic situation of Vodafone Giants, or more likely the Armory. 2 Mech-10s, 2 AKs, 1 Deagle. Far away from ideal.
Yeah.
Far away from ideal. I mean, the B-side take seems inevitable. Only a few players to really hold up, but they directly retreat because they think that this retake is more likely and more realistic than actually staying back on site, trying to find anything. And still nothing has happened. Now the bomb is about to hit the ground. Juliana with the first, and the second one as they're running into her crosshair. Not much more to find for the Vodafone Giants side. One after another is falling down. The Deagle tries to do any more impact, but Katie on short, known, exposed, isolated, and overall taken out. Besiktas. Petra trying a bit of a skill jump maybe. Looked like it for a second, but there's the half already on the board. Additional money bonus, nice to have, but we're still talking about 3,400 to 4,200. Unsatisfying.
And yet again, I think you can see how Vodafone Giants also having a problem playing together. Seems like maybe it's the lack of practice, or they weren't focusing on it this much, but when Giuliano got this first AWP kill, you want Low running in instantaneously as soon as, as soon as you need to recover from this AWP shot, so Giuliano is going to fall and you have a trade kill, but instead they're taking a long time.
This is deja vu, Josh. This is the exact same thing happening. I saw this one from time to time, and this time Missa stays successful. M4 shots going directly according to plan, and all in combination is working out. Katie is the lone survivor while she sees a few dead teammates once she joins the B side. She does not really want to put those 6 feet deep, but she herself will probably be put 6 feet deep anytime soon, except it's German Deagle precision, but Juliano, 1 shot, 1 kill, all done.
And that was such a weird round. At this point, I'm not sure what they wanted to achieve with it, because it already failed before. Of course, you maybe can catch them off guard, and Besiktas is like, oh, they're probably not going to rush B this time. But nevertheless, it just looked like a desperate play because they were forcing up. They don't really have a lot of money in this round either, so they weren't looking into it like, okay, we're going to eco now, we might rush B, get the bomb plant, and then have a lot of money in the next round. No, they were forcing it up and somehow trying to brute force their way into B again, and it just didn't work out. It seems like right now they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, right. And I mean, if you're trying the same thing over and over and over again, it might get a little redundant and easy to read. Low is going to be the first one just pushing through. Funny story how she actually advances that far, goes over short, and I'm quite convinced nobody of Besiktas should expect that to be the case. B-side emptied out a lot. Sure, Zaz has done the rotation around, but this bomb is now present and public whilst mid-air. Giuliano gets her kill. She waits until the reinforcements arrive, as Zaz is the pivotal and crucial aspect in this. Good luck, 80, 13 HP, not much more to do, and not many opportunities left for her to deny the double digits. Of course, one Canadian composer once said, never say never, but at that point in time, never seeing this happening.
Yeah, never seeing this happening.
But I mean, Justin Bieber said it, so never say never is somewhat legit. And at that point in time, bomb still publicly dropped. But there's the death. One shot, one kill. Fist bumps left and right as Giuliano leads the way for her team to a 10-5. I hope Missa is not laughing about my Justin Bieber joke. If so, I'm sorry for that one. But overall,
I don't think anyone would laugh, so.
No, I mean, the crowd doesn't look amused. I failed, obviously. Somebody's holding up a beer. That's partial success. I heard alcohol is combined with fun, or connected with fun at least. So it's a clear indicator if I'm going to read this one very deep. But we see the faces of the Giants focused and 100% in it. It's not much wiggle room they have. And Besiktas, with a pistol round win, would probably just have a great fundament of winning the entire map. And you see, there's one fast train arriving on B. 80's not hitting one, and she's in major danger at the moment. Smoked off entirely. A bomb that just needs to touch the ground, and then it's already the retake that needs to be initiated. Sure, you got a kid on low, but this is a very tight and uncomfortable sort of situation on the B side. So many corners to check, and Zaz is the first line of defense that still wants to deny any aggression coming in. Whilst though Giuliano clears out short, one frag is on her side, but it still needs to remain strong. This defense seems to get a little shaky as 80 just waits behind the bench, but she's gonna be obliterated overall. Laya, good luck, have fun. Dinked out and eliminated.
Well, that's going to be a rough one for Vodafone Giants, and at this point, I think we all see Besiktas taking this 2-0 if we didn't do that yet, if anyone didn't see them winning this one yet. Vodafone Giants, I mean, just talk about their performance in general. There's some life signs here and then, but I really feel like right now they're still too inconsistent and also sometimes seem to actually sometimes they aren't sure what they will really want to do, what they want to get out of the round, and also don't really play that well with their teammates, I would say, and that's probably something you want to focus on if you really go out with a loss here. And
it really felt for me right there, for example, that sure, they're not having a proper buy, don't get me wrong. Overall, though, in this specific second, I was like, okay, Vodafone Giants, why are you so scared? Why it seemed like it was just they were so out of control at that point in time when they suddenly start to hit the side. And this, Josh, is the round where it might just all come down to. We see the Augs, the M4s, FAMAS, and the MP9 being in the hands of the Giant side. Not ideal, and they need to defend 2 bomb side with just that.
Right now, with that thought, they are focusing on one of the bomb sites and leaving the other one fairly open, talking about the A side just being held by one player. At least so far, as the rotation is kicking in. They were just scared about a B rush, so never mind that. And there might be a rush coming in over towards short, but a delayed one.
A very delayed one. The smoke, though, if I saw it correctly in window, is just about to fake, and this is making it all a little bit more complicated. Now Giuliano is passing over, and one was boosted up on the B side, but they are now attacking the B side. They're now focusing on the B side, and this FAMAS, can it hold the line is the question. They're coming closer and closer. It starts to get a little bit more problematic as the bomb is about to be dropped on the ground, and the C4 then ticking away for 40 seconds. They need to control short, kitchen, well, not short many anymore, but at least apartments as well right now. This is the position where I see a flank being somewhat successful and somewhat giving the Giants still a good chance here. Overall, Low is coming close. This is going to be the last one alive, but Missa. Perfect read, perfect frags.
Yeah, and it made it so easy for them as soon as they cleared out short, because they could plant the bomb for there, and what do you want to do then? You don't really have a lot of options. You have one player coming in from market, you have one player coming in from apps, and you're in a 2 versus 3. Yep. What do you want to do? What opportunities do you have unless Besiktas really throws away the round? And I would say there's not really a lot you just are able to do, not a lot of scenarios.
Besides that, the money was looking fairly bad as well, and I mean, that's nothing you want to see when you're on the brink of losing. They are just basically on the brink of losing.
You can see it was a tactical pause, the coach being very vocal, telling them what he wants to see.
I mean, it's obvious what they want to see, I would say. It's a stellar performance, and well, stellar performance is not coming out of the players. I think they switched modes, Josh.
Yeah.
It's cruise control, but that cruise control is displaying 300 kilometers an hour, way too fast and way too uncomfortable if you're in the passenger seat, as you don't have any clue what's happening. The FAMAS of Knopka looked very promising, but we're just 30 seconds in the round, and 4 out of 5 players on the Giant side are dead, out, and eliminated.
This is getting worse and worse. 14-5. Besiktas not having a lot of players dying either, and yeah, I mean, how do you want to look at this? It's I said it earlier already. This is just looking like the lost Vodafone Giants not really having the ability to fight back, and at this point you got to look at it and see what you can learn and what's still missing towards Besiktas, and also seeing what you actually did well. And there definitely also were some rounds to look at where you can tell yourself, hey, we didn't play this too bad. We actually had, there were some chances, we just had to less of those and we didn't work for those enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, from there on you learn for the next events you want to attend, or the online events you're playing.
It's very sad that you already say next events, because this seems to be a closed chapter.
Yep.
This seems to be a closed chapter. Reinvested and reinvested, reinvested. The only thing that might be looking good for them is the losing bonus in the next round. Everything else is fairly sinister, and the weather forecast is calling dark clouds, with the storm having the name Besiktas, as they're just raining down on Vodafone Giants over and over and over again.
Well, there's some thunder for sure as well.
I mean, that's not a thunder. That's a monsoon coming down on Vodafone
Okay,
Giants so far, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure if anyone wants to try right now to go for the fuse. Yeah, she's sticking it, but not with Besiktas. Not with Besiktas.
I mean, you gotta be fair here. This was the best thing you can try in such a round where you need this round so desperately. So a nice try by her, but Besiktas ready for it. Make sure that something like this won't happen.
No. I mean,
no, we're on match point.
We're on match point, Josh, and I mean, this was a fairly fast affair so far. I don't want to call it off yet. You should never do that. That would be very disrespectful. But from a statistical point of view, we see Missa obliterating 2 in a matter of 15 seconds. Good night, Vodafone Giants, and probably is after another falls. 80's asking, guys, we're just 20 seconds in this round. How did you all die? How is that possible?
This is exactly how you feel as a B player, as a B anchor. You're just sitting there and be like, yeah, well, okay, I guess they're all dead. And what can I do?
Sounds like a Donhachi meme for me, but overall, there is the win. They're happy, satisfied. Not definitely their overall A game, if you ask me, but this is what you call a solid and strong performance, because I think against an opponent like CLG or so, I would say, Jesus Christ, how would I have done that? But here we're talking about Vodafone Giants. So far, not too much happening overall on the stage, and therefore